hottest event in entertainment, with appearances by Cameron Diaz, Dwayne Johnson, Minka Kelly, Aziz Ansari, UFC champ John Jones, Blake Griffin, Harrison Ford, Jim Carrey, and so many more. Plus, don't miss Decade of Hotness winner Jennifer Aniston. Guy's Choice, Friday at 9 on Spike.
Coming up next, live from the Galen Center in Los Angeles, Microsoft kicks off E3 right here on GameTrailers.com.
The new era of entertainment has begun, and it's happening right here on Xbox 360.
Gears 3, Forza 4. Also, what's new for Kinect? And what third-party surprises are in store for the big event? Find out what Microsoft will have in store for 2011 and beyond, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Xbox 360 The Future Revealed is next, right here on GameTrailers.com.
Thank you, and have a wonderful E3.
Love games as much as we do? Make sure to like the Game Trailers Facebook page for access to exclusive E3 content.
You're working with the big boys now.
Enjoy live streams of all the E3 media briefings, plus get exclusive videos and photos from the show floor. Also, follow Game Trailers on Twitter to get news updates around the clock and use the hashtag GTE3 to see what our community is saying about the biggest announcements. Feel like you're at E3, Game Trailers social media. Are you loving all the exclusives but afraid that you'll go through withdrawal after E3 ends? GTTV has you covered. Every week we have exclusive trailers, gameplay, and interviews from the industry's hottest games that you won't see anywhere else. Jeff Keighley knocks down developers' doors, grabbing early access to the biggest games. If it makes news in the gaming world, hosts Daniel Kaiser and Amanda McKay are on the scene. And Justine Nazarek previews the latest gaming tech. Gaming doesn't end with E3. Tune in every Thursday night, 1 a.m., only on Spike. GameTrailers.com lets you take E3 on the go, live video streaming of all the major press conferences right to your iPhone, iPad, or Android smartphone. You can't get to a computer or TV, take E3 with you anywhere, right in the palm of your hand. Log on to GameTrailers.com on your iOS or Android device right now to get access to the latest news, hottest trailers, and most importantly, our continuing live E3 coverage, right in the palm of your hand. No E3 badge, no problem. We have you covered at GameTrailers.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to Spike's live coverage from E3. Now, one of the most anticipated press conferences at E3 you can see only right here on Spike. Of course, that's Xbox 360 The Future Revealed. What you're seeing right now is a live shot of the Galen Center. Our cameras are there now, and we're counting down. We're just about 12 minutes away from the start of that press conference, and it's going to open with a pretty big demo you guys are not going to want to miss. Well, speaking of Xbox, earlier, Daniel Kaiser caught up with a man who had an extra announcement that you're going to hear right now. It's Phil Spencer, the corporate vice president of Microsoft Game Studios. He'll be with us after the briefing live for an interview about the news in the briefing. But right now, here's Phil and Daniel with a special announcement.
All right, I'm joined now by Microsoft's Phil Spencer, who's got an announcement before the press conference. The Summer of Arcade is coming. What are we going to be looking at?
Summer of Arcade 2011, this July. We have Bastion coming from Warner Brothers Entertainment. It's going to be a great game. From Dust from Ubisoft, another great third-party game. I'm always proud of our first-party lineup in Summer of Arcade. We have Fruit Ninja Connect from Half Brick, our first Connect game in Summer of Arcade. I think it'll do really well for us. Toy Soldiers, the second Toy Soldiers, Cold War from Signal Games. And last but not least, my favorite, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet from Fuel Cell. That's an incredible game.
It sounds insane. What is that game? Why is it your favorite?
Well, it's kind of an old-school 2D side-scrolling game, plays a spaceship, incredible environments. The art in the game is over the top, and it's one of those games that really does well in XBLA. I think the environment, the creativity is really going to just surprise people.
Yeah, and real quickly, why is it that the Summer of Arcade and Xbox Live Arcade as a platform is so important for you guys to bring in new audiences?
You know, there's a couple things about Summer of Arcade that I think really work. One is the time. It is summer. Not a lot of blockbuster retail games come out. It's a great time to get us pacing of game a week. In XBLA, the Summer of Arcade is also a place where people can take more risks. Right? The price points are a little bit lower, but obviously you're reaching millions of people on Xbox Live.
Okay.
And you get teams really doing a great job.
All right, well, we wish you the best of that and best of luck with E3. Thanks so much. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you.
Great. Now, of course, E3 is all about the games, but it's also big business for the companies involved. That's why we talked to our financial analyst, Michael Pachter, who knows the ins and outs of the video game business better than anybody else, to find out his predictions for the big press events today. Now, of course, Michael Pachter is our go-to guy on game trailers, and he's not afraid to call out the biggest names in the business. First up under the microscope is Xbox. We asked him what are the 3 things that Xbox needs to do in order to have a successful E3. Here's the Pack Attack.
What do we need to see today for Microsoft to succeed? We need to see Microsoft hit the core and hit the core hard. So you hardcore Xbox out there, Microsoft has to give you games that you care about. They have to give you games that you don't know about in order to succeed, because you got to have a little bit of surprise. And they have to give you stuff that you really want. So I think we're going to see a little bit of all that stuff. Second thing that Microsoft has to do, they have to make Kinect more relevant to more people. Right now, the only people who really care about Kinect are people who play Dance Central. They've got to make that thing resonate with the core, resonate with the Xbox out there. Give us a game that you care about playing on Kinect. I don't know how you do that, but we're going to see. I think we're going to get something there. They also have to continue to broaden the appeal. I think we still only have about 15 Kinect games. We got to see 30. We got to see more. So I think Microsoft's going to give us a bit of that. Third thing they have to do is they have to continue to evolve that dashboard into a media center, so you start thinking about your television as more than just a place to watch television and and play games. You've got to look at your TV as an access point to social media. Yes, we have Facebook. Yes, we have Twitter. Still easier on the PC. We've got to look at that TV set as an access point to do everything. Netflix was a start. We need more of that. I want to be able to do lots and lots of things on that dashboard. So I think Microsoft gives us those 3 things. We are going to have to say they succeeded in today's conference.
All right, we're going to have to see just how well PAX Xbox 360 predictions hold up later on. Now, right now, we're lucky enough to have with us one of the smartest video game minds around, the deputy editor of Kotaku, Stephen Totilo. Stephen, welcome to E3.
Thank you, Jeff. You didn't sleep very well, I hear.
No, it was a restless night getting ready for all the exclusives that were coming today, Stephen.
Excellent.
So we are literally about 8 minutes away from the Xbox briefing. You guys are reporting on Kotaku already that there was a leak on Xbox.com, one page. Right. Seems like Halo 4 is going to be announced today, right?
Yes, Halo 4, a remake of the first Halo, because amazing as it is, it's been 10 years since the first Halo, so an anniversary edition, redone. But Halo 4, what I'm interested in seeing is a couple of years ago, one of the developers working on that game told me that there was an edict. No purple allowed in the new Halo. They want to get rid of the purple, which was a signature color of the older games. If we see the game today, I'm looking to see whether there's any purple in it. Okay.
There's also Gears of War 3 that we're going to see now. This was at E3 last year. Cliff Bleszinski will be on stage showing a new demo. It comes out in September this year. Does Gears have a shot to be Game of Show?
Yeah, the Gears games have been fantastic. They had never, though, dominated in terms of multiplayer, and that's been one of their big pushes. The beta was really successful. If the campaign impresses, it has a shot, yes.
They've also got the new Horde mode, I think, that they're going to be unveiling this week, which is a new multiplayer mode. So we'll hear more about that. Kinect is a big question, I think, for a lot of gamers. Kinect was, big success last year. There haven't been many games at all this year. Core gamers don't think there are any games for them. I think we're going to hear about core games at the briefing, but are you expecting a lot from Microsoft there?
I think we're going to see a lot, but it's quantity we're going to get. I don't know what qualities we're going to get. If you saw the Star Wars Kinect trailer that started leaking last night.
Not impressed, Stephen?
No, I mean, basically, we could be controlling the game right now, and the game wouldn't know what we're doing until, I think, a few seconds later.
Well, that was a video. We'll have to play it live and see,
we saw Kudo playing it on the thing. But yeah, maybe good for little kids, but not good for people like me and you.
All right, well, tough questions coming for Stephen Totilo. Of course, we'll see you after the briefing to see if your predictions were right.
No purple.
We're going to find out who's right and who's wrong when the Xbox 360 future revealed briefing gets underway in just a few minutes. We'll be right back live here on Spike and Game Trailers.
Let's see where this takes us.
So make sure you're logged in at GameTrailers.com with live streaming press conferences from Microsoft. Want the most up-to-the-second coverage from E3 straight to your computer?
Let's see where this takes us.
So make sure you're logged in at GameTrailers.com with live streaming press conferences from Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Don't miss that moment that can change gaming forever.
Today we're excited to share with you Project Natal.
GT has trailers, gameplay, and teasers on all the biggest games, streaming in HD only seconds after they're announced. Exclusive demos and walkthroughs with the industry's top developers feature the newest games that E3 has to offer.
You might be the man for the job.
Make sure to follow the Game Trailers Twitter feed for the latest breaking news from the E3 floor and behind those closed doors. With nearly 1,000 videos around the clock, GT has more updates than anywhere else. E3 All Access is only on GameTrailers.com. Want the most up-to-the-second coverage from E3 straight to your computer?
Let's see where this takes us.
So make sure you're logged in at GameTrailers.com with live streaming press conferences from Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Don't miss that moment that can change gaming forever.
Today we're excited to share with you Project Natal.
GT has trailers, gameplay, and teasers on all the biggest games, streaming in HD only seconds after they're announced. Exclusive demos and walkthroughs with the industry's top developers feature the newest games that E3 has to offer.
You might be the man for the job.
Make sure to follow the Game Trailers Twitter feed for the latest breaking news from the E3 floor and behind those closed doors. With nearly 1,000 videos around the clock, GT has more updates than anywhere else. E3 All Access is only on GameTrailers.com. Can't wait for Mass Effect 3, Uncharted 3, and Zelda? Well, every week, GTTV has you covered with exclusive interviews, gameplay, and trailers on all of 2011 and beyond's biggest titles. Whether it's a character reveal or a new level you haven't seen anywhere else, GTTV has it first. Segments like Comeback Facts and Future of Fun take you inside gaming like never before. Event coverage goes beyond E3 as GTTV has one-of-a-kind reveals at Comic-Con, GDC, and PAX. GTTV is changing the game. Level up with us every Thursday night, 1 a.m., only on Spike. Love games as much as we do? Make sure to like the Game Trailers Facebook page for access to exclusive E3 content.
You're working with the big boys now.
Enjoy live streams of all the E3 media briefings, plus get exclusive videos and photos from the show floor. Also, follow Game Trailers on Twitter to get news updates around the clock and use the hashtag GTE3 to see what our community is saying about the biggest announcements. Feel like you're at E3 with Game Trailers social media. Coming up next, live from the Galen Center in Los Angeles, Microsoft kicks off E3 right here on GameTrailers.com.
The new era of entertainment has begun, and it's happening right here on Xbox 360.
Gears 3, Forza 4. Also, what's new for Kinect? And what third-party surprises are in store for the big event? Find out what Microsoft will have in store for 2011 and beyond, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Xbox 360 The Future Revealed is next, right here on GameTrailers.com.
Thank you, and have a...
As you guys can see, the crowd for the Xbox 360 press conference is getting pretty packed over there at the Galen Center. We're going to go there live in just a few minutes for the press conference. Now, here are my 3 things to look for at the Xbox 360 press conference. I call them the keys to the briefing. First thing, entertainment, not just games. Over 40% of the time spent on Xbox 360 is with entertainment applications, not games. And that may not be something that gamers like to hear, but it's something that the wider audience does want to hear about. Netflix, things like that, you're going to hear about that. Second of all, Kinect for the gamers. Steve and I just talked about that, the idea that we're going to see some games for the hardcore. And then where's Halo going next? It sounds like Halo 4. After the Xbox 360 press conference, day 1 of our live coverage from E3 is far from over. Amanda, why don't you tell us what's on tap for the rest of the day?
We have got lots of stuff coming up. We still have debut clips from BioShock Infinite, as well as the return of Twisted Metal. We have exclusive demos on Batman Arkham City, as well as Mass Effect 3, plus press conferences that are bound to be filled with some huge news. Ubisoft, Sony, and the EA press conference are all coming up, brought to you exclusively on Spike. But right now, our coverage of E3 is just beginning, and now